Hello and welcome to my live. I figured I'm going to go live. I should point somewhere else. I just came from watching the lives at 10 Killer, and it's kind of exciting to watch that. But I came home today and I saw hoof prints all over the place. And I started to get worried that I was going to be chasing horses all night, and I actually didn't have to because Jack was the only one out. I don't know how he got through the fence, but he was the only one, and as soon as I opened the fence, he went back in. And hi, Bob. Just unpacking my truck right now because these plants are going to wilt if I leave them in there. Just to let you know what's been going on all week, I have been really sick. I think it was Monday that I came home from work. Hi, Phil. And I had supper. I had bought it from Subway. And as soon as I was finished, I was watching someone's live and I started to get the chills. Hi, Jovita. And that was it. I was done. I was sick for the next 3 days. I missed work. I finally got back to work today, but things are getting behind on the farm. I did no work except for the chores, and so I bought a whole bunch of stuff today. I picked up some Roma tomatoes. I've got some marigolds, and I don't even know why, but I bought so many tomatoes. And I bought some parsley and a couple of strawberry plants, and I think there's a couple of peppers in there as well. Let's see. I got basil and strawberries. I bought a cayenne pepper. All of this has to get done this weekend, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to walk past it in a minute, show you the status of my tractor. But I figured I would get two birds with one stone here. While I was doing my live, I would unload the plants. You can see I got some of my school supplies in here because that's what this truck is. It's a traveling office. And so these plants, I actually stopped in one of the places that I worked at this earlier this year. And hi, Mama Murphy. Thank you for coming in. These were free. I bought some tomatoes from them, and they said pick yourself out a couple of dahlias. So, bonus, I think the ones that I picked there were pink, and these are going to be like a deeper purple. Well, maybe it's that maroon. Oh. Everyone's causing such a ruckus. Hi, Heather. Yeah, I'm hoping that more people are going live from 10 Killer. I like when people get together in a group and you see a whole bunch of people. And then I don't know if this is true, all these marigolds I got, I was hoping they deter some insects. I've read that in the past. I've never used it as a deterrent, but this year I'm going to try my hardest not to lose my garden to my grasshoppers because it has been 2 years already. Like, I had enough success with the amount of vegetables that I plant, and I just have a couple more tomatoes to unplant or unpack here, and I can get moving out of this area. So these are the ones, the tomatoes that oh, there we go. So I have to go investigate how he's getting out. I don't even know if I want to put him back in because did they go more than the hour? Because I was in there live, Heather. Well, that's okay. I don't even know if I'm going to stay on. Yeah, it's good to see there's no more snow, but now the horses are just going wherever they want. Oh, I don't even know what I was saying. I did want to go live just so that I have my regular weekly live. I realize that it's probably more exciting to watch the people at 10 Killer right now, but those are my last cherry tomatoes I bought there. So at least these are out of the truck. They're not going to wilt in there. And I'm going to head out and investigate where Jack is getting out. So hopefully he just hangs out by the horses on that side of the fence. Hi, Jonesy, you missed it. Jack just came blaring through the yard. He's getting out somewhere, and I don't know if it's the part of the fence where I didn't fix, but I'm going to show you where I was stuck with the tractor. But this is the tractor right now. This part was the heaviest part of the tractor, and we have ropes on it here because they it was my dad and my brother that were here that are starting to tear it apart. Hi, Donar. And it was my dad's skill that got it out because there is no clutch on the tractor. But he has so much experience. He knows how to drive it, and he would stop it and then he would restart it in whatever gear he needed it to be. But that is cast iron, I think, and they just had to lower it to the ground because it's way too heavy to lift. But piece by piece, they started tearing things apart, and we still haven't gotten to the clutch, which is somewhere around there. But it's going to take another day, and I think they're planning on coming back tomorrow. But it's all tarped up because it did rain, and there's a couple of, I don't know, hoses or whatever that would be open. But yeah, there's the gas tank, well, diesel tank, and other various parts of the tractor. But I'll show you where the only thing that had to go, I guess, were I think it's Caraganas that I was backed up on. You know, Jovita, it's one thing to tear it down, and then you got to get the parts, which isn't a problem. I think he found where he could get them, and then he's got to make more time to come back and fix it. So this will be the third trip he's come out here, and that's a long drive for him to come. And he said he's got to do the same thing to one of his tractors. But I'm just pausing at the garden, being sick all week. The only thing I got planted, because I had it soaking the night before I got sick, I had my corn soaking. So it took 2 days for me to get out here. It was already starting to sprout, and I've never soaked corn that long. But I did come here and plant it one night. I think it was like a day ago or something like that. But then I found out my hoses were busted, or they're leaking right at the nozzle ends. So I had to buy a new hose today. And I'm sorry, I think I probably still sound stuffed up. But look at the nice cleaned rows, right? And then look at the rows. You think I was planting vegetables here. This is 100% weeds that I have to pull up. And I really want to get to it this weekend. I thought I'd have it done this week. I was going to come out every day, but whatever this is, the flu, I don't know. It just didn't feel good. Okay, thank you for coming in, Mama Murphy. Past the garbage pile. That's all going to be taken care of this summer. So I'm wondering where he's getting out. So these trees kind of served as a deterrent for them, but this is where the tractor was. It's kind of like a gaping hole. The fence is up though. It's not great, but the wire is there. And Jack isn't a jumper. And there's all the trees they cut down. So I'm thinking I gotta walk the whole line. I know last time I went, I didn't have any tools on me, So I just propped up the barbed wire on a tree, and I'm wondering if he knocked it down. Oh, and you could see here, when my dad was driving the tractor, the front end loader came down and it started digging up all the roots. But he had to stop it at this point and restart the tractor because he couldn't get the loader up. But everything's starting to green up. Fence is still good here. And I'm still seeing his tracks, but he could be just running back and forth. Hi, Trumpet. And the moles are waking up because I'm getting dirt piles everywhere. You know, one day being sick can put you so far behind. 3 days, I feel like I got a whole week's worth of work to catch up on now. Yep, it would be this area. This is completely out, which surprises me that it's only Jack coming out. Which means after I get off this live, I'm gonna have to come back and do something better. So I don't remember if this post was down before, but it is now. I don't know exactly if this is even gonna help to do anything right now. But Jack is not in the corral. And the other two haven't decided to come out this way. So I will have to come and get my fence stretcher, come back and fix this right after I get off of here. I wanted to walk up to, it looks muddy out there. It isn't. It's very sandy land, and I would have to get rain daily. I would say for weeks before I had water pooling up anywhere. But this is one thing I could be working on right now too, because this is going to grow into a forest. I was also looking at my horse pasture as I come in from my lane, and I've got poplars growing in there. And it was kind of like, when did they start growing? I never had trees out front before. How many acres? I've got 80 acres. So, and I don't even know how to look at an area and say how many acres it is. I just go by what people tell me. I know I got 10 to 12 in hay. So if I look at the size of that field, I must have at least that much in the ravine with all the trees. So I would say I got 10 to 12 acres wooded area. And then there's a whole bunch that's not fenced, that needs to be fenced because it could be more horse pasture. Yeah, it's really hard for me to say, well, this horse pasture is that many acres. I am coming here to see the spruce trees, because I was reading up on transplanting them, and I know my dad said he's tried in the past and he's been unsuccessful, and I've tried in the past and I've been unsuccessful. The part I did read, yeah, why? Because it's too easy, Jonesy. Hi, Gavin. If I'm huffing and puffing this time, it's because I'm sick, or I was sick. I'm getting better now. But such an easier walk now. So I was reading about the spruce trees or pine trees that before they start budding is the time to transplant them, and I might be a little bit too late. And I'm thinking, I don't know if I walked past it or not yet. I know there was two. Much easier to spot when everything is covered in white. Yeah, it is starting to bud. Well, maybe not. It doesn't look like I have a Alberta spruce. I might be okay yet. I don't know. But a little tree like that, and I'm thinking, how much soil am I gonna have to take with that so I don't kill it? Heather, we just had snow a couple weeks ago though. So isn't this early spring? I pulled out, what was it? On my garden, those darn maples are growing in my garden, which isn't a big deal because I got trees all around it and I just pulled it up. But if the tree was about 8 inches tall, the root in the ground was at least six inches, and I couldn't believe how deep that root had gone already. And so I'm gonna come out here with either my wagon, I think it'll be that wagon that I put all the vegetables on, and I'll bring my truck up as far as I can right to the corner. I am going to dig the biggest hole around this tree, and if I can have like a foot or two of dirt and just drag it on or into a 5-gallon pail. The only thing that I know or have been told, not personally, but I used to watch a lot of Monty Don, and he's like a English garden guru, is that when you're transplanting, the more soil you can take, the better, because of, I don't even know what you call those fine hair-like, hi Simon, the fine hair-like root system. The more of that you can take, the better it is for the plant. And I'm thinking maybe that was our problem with the other transplants that we tried to do. But here's the thing, even if I do end up killing that plant, it's not gonna matter because this is a road, even though it doesn't look like a road. I have to get this back. I'm even gonna have to cut down some of these trees. Of course, they're maples again, but they're taller than me already, and they shouldn't be here. So like this one right here, this is too close to the road. But I can easily cut that down with the nippers still. It's not too big. But yeah, I feel like I'm walking through almost a forest here. Gosh, I should have this like side-by-side comparison with the winter snowshoeing through here. It was like somewhere over here that I actually fell down too. It was the first time I tripped on my snowshoes. Oh, and these poplars. I can't believe they're so big already. I remember when I first came here, it was like, oh, don't take too many trees down. My dad was here with a chainsaw. And I'll never think that again. You feel sorry for them. I don't know why. And then it just comes back 100-fold. This is crazy. Yes, with the green. Well, we got some really unusually warm quickly. days, usually we ease into spring. And I feel like we went from, we had snow to 20 degrees. So I must have missed the other spruce tree because I am at the end of the lane and I don't see the other one. It had to be further back. What did Heather say? Pan over the post that was under the snow. That, I'm not exactly sure where that was, Heather. Because I'm thinking in my yard, when we snowplow, when the snowplow comes down the lane, the fence post there is 4 feet tall, but that's also some pushed up snow. Yep. And somewhere here, this feels like any fence post. Well, I'm sure, actually, it's probably on the other side that was taller. But, you know, when I walk up to a fence post, this is my arm level, like straight across. And that's got to be over 4.5 feet, just under 5 feet tall. And so the snow definitely was hitting the top of these barbed wires. But it wouldn't have been on the other side if the horses were tramping the snow down. I'm just looking back. You guys can't see it, but I see Jack has followed up the trail. He's probably looking at a way to get back in, but I wanted to check, because if I put him back in, which is what I did when I got home, he just blew out on the live. But one thing I can't see right now is there's nothing here. And when when my dad comes for hay cutting, this area is so overgrown. Like, you could see the dead grass has laid down from last year. This stuff will be like 4 feet tall, and there's those yellow flowers. I could see the rose bushes. They haven't really greened up yet. It's just like a jungle of grass. And I'm looking, this trail here. It's like, who cut this trail? This has got to be deer coming through. Because my dogs are not here cutting a trail like this. Or water, I don't know. Oh, I can hear geese somewhere. I am Manitoba, right north of you. I actually have to go to North Dakota on Monday. My daughter's coming back. I saw you said if somebody had the weather app or whatever it is attached to their live, and you said Bismarck, and I'm thinking, isn't Bismarck just south of the Brandon area? I don't know. I don't know North Dakota that well, but I'm wondering, are you near that area? But yeah, there's my hayfield. I don't know if the wind is hitting you. The wind picked up a bit. But here's the green version of my walk. Jessie found something. What you got there, girl? Probably like a harmless frog. Or you got something in ground you're sniffing out. What you got? What's there? Get it. Get it. She's moving too erratically for me. Sniff something, but there's nothing there. Does anybody remember Digger the dog? Oh, what was that? Oh, goodness. No, leave it, leave it, leave it. Did you guys see what it is? I'm trying not to draw attention to it. Because I don't want them to kill it. Get! Jesse, no! Darn it. Jesse! Get out of there. Get! 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 Go! Get! Sorry, just distracted. I don't want her to kill it. Why Jovita? Get! Get! Sorry, I just grabbed her by the scruff of the neck. Come on, let's go. Come on. All right, I'm gonna walk away. Hopefully they'll come follow me. Because it was just a garter snake. And if they kill it, that means more rodents, right? Come on, girls. Let's go. Jess, come on. Jessie. She's going crazy for it now. Jovita, we have no poisonous snakes, so I'm not worried about it. I think the only reason a garter snake would ever bite you is if you were to pick it up and handle it. But they're actually good snakes. I've also seen, if they're a type of garter snake, I don't know. Like this one was the black one with the yellow stripes. When my dad bales, he'll catch some in the baling process. I've seen the green ones here, but nothing's poisonous out here. So I tried to grab her away, but it sounds like I'm murdering her. Just hoping that I get far. Is that what the green ones are called? Because why would they not hang out by water? It's just a grass snake, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, Jonesy, so true. I just hope she doesn't get it, because they killed one last year. It was pretty big, but I mean, it was hanging around the garage. It was hanging around the barn. And hi, Dark Lord. That's a good thing, because I know I have mice. And it'll help with that problem. So, yeah, Jovita, if I was in Texas, I would be more careful. And that's why I don't mind living in the cold Canadian north. Although I wouldn't want to live further north in Canada. This is north enough. But I don't have to worry about things here. That's got to be some wind on you. Come on, girls. Jessie. Well, hopefully that snake was smart enough to go deep down. And it would be good in the field too, because we have such problems with moles. So if it found babies, that's less hills for us to be over. Like this fence too, this not even a bottom line. I need to pick up the bottom barbed wire. Jesse's like half buried in the field now. Let's see, maybe I'll go backwards. Oh, question whether or not I have deer. There we go. There's a split hoof. So this looks like a, well, I guess you would call it my road. I do mow this. I have a John Deere riding lawnmower. I usually go around about 5 times and keep this path, but I don't know what I was doing last year that I let that end, like the first part that I came through. I don't know if it was wet. Can't imagine it was wet last year. I can't remember why I didn't go that far, because I would have cut this for sure. Because you can see where the tall grass is, and then this is just green. I was also thinking about my garden too. And I'm probably going to be making a video because I'm starting to think what I did with vegetables last year. And I can't remember. And it's a good thing I have those bricks with the vegetable name on it. Oh yeah, the one thing that I have to remember is when I planted the cucumbers or the squash next to my arch, I planted them too close so that when the plant was growing up, if I wanted to turn it back onto the panel, it's better to have it a little bit away so that you can bend your plant into it. But yeah, I don't know, I gotta start thinking about when the bugs come out. Gotta stop for a second, I got something in my shoe. I think it's wood chips from the garden. This is the pathway that was in my little short run where the dogs came bolting out. Oh, I hear geese. Oh, they're too far to see. Oh, I didn't even notice. Prairie rattlesnakes in southwestern Manitoba. Southwestern. I'm not southwestern. That's awesome. Did it give more specific of an area? Because I think I'm mid-west. How would you say that? Mid-south? Like I'm not too far from the border. I just noticed, and I didn't pay attention as I passed it, that it's finally turning green. So I thought I'd stop and take a picture of that. Hey, you. I have to change my thumbnail. I turned the camera and it went straight to the sky. I think it was like blue. But I didn't post that early. I just went live immediately. So, from that tree line to that golden field is mine. Hi, Chuck. And then a half-mile deep. So what is that, a quarter mile? Quarter mile wide, half-mile deep. I do know that, I keep saying this, repeating myself, but the guy who owned the place before me, he's the one who brought the trailer here, he used to own the whole 160, and he sold the top 80 to the neighbors. So it must have been cheap land too, because, oh, well, there you go, Heather. No, I don't even know, like I've never heard a story about anyone ever being, I don't know anyone in that area of Manitoba. Because I grew up north of Dauphin, and Dauphin is, I don't even know if you would call that mid. It would have to be mid Manitoba because it's not northern Manitoba. And this whole area, I tried to go over it. My dad said, well, just drive over it with the tractor in the winter and it'll snap all the poplars. Of course, I don't know what he meant. So there are some laying down, and then I didn't get them very good. So I think I'm just gonna come here by hand. I have to widen this path because he used to be able to easily drive through here with the haybine or the baler. North of Winnipeg, that there's rattlers, like the Interlake. I'm gonna have to Google this after, Heather. You're making me paranoid now. That was a garter snake we just saw though. Well, you guys didn't see it, I saw it. Hopefully it's still alive. But yeah, none of these poplars were here when I moved here either. They just magically appeared one day. Thank you, Gavin. What, did I miss something? Google says north of Winnipeg. That Dauphin is? Dauphin, I would say, is more north of Brandon. It's northwest of Winnipeg. But yeah, I have to attack these poplar trees. I'm not gonna take it all down because that would be crazy amount of work. Just enough to widen the road, and if it wants to continue off into the what's going to be future horse pasture. So this area here looks like nothing is growing because this is where my dogs who have passed, I kind of always come back to this spot. And I have a couple that grew to an old age here, but I also moved here and I had elderly dogs, so I think I've got 4 here, which is sad that dogs don't live so long. But this is where the property seems awkward, and it's probably because there's bush behind me and I can't tell how much it comes out. But you can see, if I point towards, no, you can't even see. Maybe I'll walk that way. I don't think I've ever done this because there was too much snow and it was too much of a bother to be out in the open. Maybe as soon as I could see it in shot. It's funny because I can see it clear as day and I still can't see it nicely on the camera. The corner of the fence has a birdhouse on it. Actually, oh. Hey, guys! See, this is a problem here. This is how my dogs have made a path. It seems like they tried to plow up the field too, and the geese went onto the field. My dogs are looking at them. But I should turn around because I don't need them going into the neighbors. But who wouldn't love to chase a goose? Watch. They're gonna be in trouble right away. Jesse? Here we go. There's the edge of my property right here. And this is what I gotta figure out. I don't know how much I went in on my property, but there is a gap. And then the neighbors rented out their land. So I don't know how much of this is mine and isn't, but I have to get it surveyed so that I can extend all the way back. It was probably horrible there, wind, but all the way to the trees in the distance. I could have fence line, but I want to head back to the yard now because the dogs will come back. They shouldn't be going there, and that's why I need to get that fence up. But yeah, it'd be nice too because when you look at this, it's all been eaten down by the horses. And then year after year, this is all just going to waste. Hi, Eddie. Thanks for coming in. If I go walk fast enough, I'll pop in and show you what Casey's looking like now. He's getting better looking every day because the shed's coming out. Every day when I go to feed them, of course he wants to get in the old bucket, so I take advantage of it while I'm still holding the bucket. I will start pulling some of the tufts out by hand. Keep going. Let's see. What side is the camera on? I don't think there was anything in there. Not yet. Do any of you guys have hummingbird feeders? I haven't put mine out yet. Look at him just strolling along in front of me. Do you have yours out now, Eddie? You think they would be there? Like where, if they're not in the southern states, where are they? So you just put them out in the summer, Eddie? You guys are gonna see my littered yard. I've been sleeping a lot during the morning and after. What does that have to do with? Well, Bob, you're closer to me, so that makes sense. Well, I guess Jack came here too. He just went everywhere. Nosy horse. Hi, Eagles Trekker. Well, I don't know if it's true or not. Do hummingbirds hitch a ride on the geese? Is that true? Or is that just one of those things people tell you? Okay, there's my messy yard. And the grass needs cutting already. I never have green grass. And this is what happens. You've never heard that before, Javita? Okay, maybe I'm just making things up. I don't know. Not true. So, do they actually make the trip all on their very own? Because it would make so much more of a romantic story if they were hitching a ride. But it sounds better. So anything about the lawn, I will cut it once, maybe twice. And I still got so much cleanup to do. And then that's it. It dries up. Yeah, my dad went looking for morels up where he lives the other day. I never called back to see if he found any, but I love them. Of course, we call them smudgy because that's the Ukrainian word for it. But still, you put them in cream and it's the best thing ever. So I'm back to where I started. I'm going to try for 5 minutes to get Jack. And as soon as he sees the halter, he's probably not going to want to come to me. But he's like only a first-class geese. Oh. Well, you just think they're so tiny. How do they make the trip? Like, I don't care if I don't get him in halter. At least if I could chase him back into the yard, because I don't want him going onto the road. I remember when I taught in the nearby town, like it was a high school and all the girls had horses, so we always shared horse stories and stuff. And this one girl's family had this horse that was awesome, I guess. It's like the speed of sound. What are you guys talking about? They never closed the gate because the horse never came out. So never. And I questioned them, like, really? And they're like, yeah. So the horse decided to leave one day, and they were right next to a road, and it got schmucked. So, hey, are you gonna come to me? He's got the best pickings out here too. Nice green grass. I don't know why, but Rain and Ty are picking on him lately. Are you gonna come follow me and then I don't have to put you in halter? Or I could just chase you back to the yard? Want to give us a galloping shot? His lazy trot shot is more like it. See, he's probably going back up the fence to see where he got out. And he won't be able to get back in, but I am going, at least I don't have to worry about him going onto the main road there, and the trees block him from leaving the property because he would have to go through that big mess that I went through. And plus there is a barbed wire that prevents him going down that whole area where the little spruce tree is. In 10 minutes, I'll go deal with that fence and get him back in. I'll be doing my chores, so he'll be around for oats too. But I want to quickly come up here and give you guys a look at Rip and Casey. I couldn't see anything because of the glare of the sun. Just checking. Oh, and I got bird feathers everywhere here. I won't kill my roosters, but my roosters are killing my hens. There's too many of them. So, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And look at this tree that I said I have to cut down. Another maple, of course. But there they are. Yeah, rooster soup. Do you have a video out of that, Jonesy? But check them out. Do you see how, I'm sure I showed this before, it's just a darker patch of hair, that dirt mark. You need to make even a short on that, Jonesy. But I sure like the way both of them are starting to look. But of course he's got that lanky look right now, and they're not fattened up on green grass yet because I can't let them out. Oh, you were saying hi to Christy. Yes, you can hear her a mile away. But you could see just really the bottom of his belly's got the most left. But he's lost it all off of his hindquarters. This guy really shed it out nicely on his own. But yeah, they don't muscle out until they're 2 years old. So I got another year to wait and see what they're going to be like. Look at her. No treats today. No, I don't have anything in my pocket. Oh, look at her. There's like, stay away from me because this guy's still a stud yet, hey? And it's not so much a danger, but I always got to watch when I drop the oats. She wants to eat the gimbal. Because usually I have to go in there and they have flipped the pan over. So the first thing I have to do is bend down to flip the pan. But I always got to make sure of where Rip is and where Christy is. Because I do not want to hoof to the head while I'm bending down. Somebody is rolling this rail because the nails are sticking out. I just noticed that. Because this is not actually nailed in. It's being held up by twine. I need to pop those nails out before somebody gets hurt. And that's another reason I don't have halters on my horse. Horses. I remember a student of mine said, oh, you shouldn't have halters on your horses. And I'm thinking, well, we always grew up with halters on our horses. And he said, they'll get in trouble. And then one day I had bought a filly from someone and they were coming to drop the papers off. And so I had a halter on her and they came. And so I came out of the house and I said, well, come and you can see her. And sure enough, what she had done is with her halter, she started scratching on a post like this, except it was a weird ending. And she had hooked her halter on it. No, Christy does not let the horses near her. This filly got stuck on the end of a fence railing, and it wasn't a nice clean edge. It was almost like a pointed edge, was 1 inch away from her eye. And the guy who had, like, I bought from, so he had bred that filly, he actually went up to her, and he was calm enough that she stayed calm, and he took the halter off, and since that day I've never kept the horse in a halter. No, I might do it if I'm training horses, but it'll be a temporary wear. So usually what I do is I just put the horses in the barn, and then I'll put a halter on them for whatever I need to do, but they won't stay out in the pasture in a halter. Oh yeah, and I got my hose. You can see it running around the ground there. I found out that I busted, because you didn't put them away fast enough, I wasted 2 100-foot hoses. But I got the duck pond is out. And I don't know if anything's gonna hatch, but one of the female ducks has been nesting for at least half a month now. You know, I can't remember the first day she started nesting, so I wouldn't know when the full month is, but we'll see. Something's gonna be there in a couple of weeks, or it's all gonna be for naught. But what a difference this guy's turning out to be. Hey, Casey? He's growing into his ears. They look so big to me before. But he still has to shed out his front nose, like the front of his nose there. He's watching the dog roll. Yes, you know when I bought those, the male and the female ends, I have about, well, I should do a video for them too. I have about 3 or 4 hoses that I bought from Walmart one year. And they have these plastic ends around, like, I don't know if it's meant as a handle, but they all leak. So I have to cut all of them off. So I think I'm just gonna buy a massive amount of those male and female ends, and I'm gonna just fix hose one day. But to save time, I bought a brand new hose. I need to get that garden done this weekend, because this will be the first year I'm actually on time in, like, I don't know, in forever. Seems like the last 3 or 4 years that I've been late planting my garden. And I remember the first, like, maybe 10 years ago when I first started with my gardens, maybe because it was brand new and the grasshoppers didn't know where it was, I had such success with it. So I just noticed that I'm up to 58 minutes and starting to walk back to where I'm gonna need to get my fencing tools. Gotta go for one more walk down the road. But I won't be taking you guys with me here. Oh, and of course I think this water bowl needs to be redone. The horses have dug it out, but it's not level anymore. And that's just the way it's settled. And sometimes it runs. It just leaks off the one end. My plan is to cement the bottom and get that area all leveled out again. But just gonna pick this up so I don't leave it on the grass. I can see it there when I'm finished my chores. Oh, check out the garlic. Look how tall my garlic is already. It's crazy. This looks like big grass blades, but that's the first year I planted my own garlic. I usually got from my aunt all the time. So it'll be nice. Hopefully I can save some. It'll last till October when I have to plant it again. But I guess, look at the mess of my yard. Here's all that hose. This is what happened. Don't ever buy cheap. Actually, this one's okay. This is the cheap Walmart. So that's what a normal hose is supposed to look like. And that's how it snapped off. It doesn't have the part you screw on because it broke right there. So, and this was supposed to be the heavy duty hose. So I quit buying the cheap Walmart brand. But anyway, it is time to go fix that fence. Thank you for joining me on my quick walk here. And, oh, hey, that's awesome. Well, that's what I can end my show with. If you haven't connected to Radio Jonesy, he is on his way to monetization. So go check him out, see if you like his channel, consider giving him some watch time. And Jonesy, when is the next time you're going to be on? You got a live tomorrow? Just waiting for you to say yay or nay. Yes, so it's around, you usually start at 5:30 Central, my time. So I'll probably see you then, because even if they do come and fix the tractor, I'm usually taking a break by then. But again, thanks to everyone coming into my live and staying with me. We will see you probably next week. I may have a garden video out before my next live, but stay tuned for that. And thanks again. Till next time.